birthday to me. I'm 50 years old today. And you know what? Since I turned 40, I've been excited about today. And how is that even possible? Aren't we supposed to like be all sad about getting older and it's the next birthday and oh, I'm just getting so old and I miss being in my 20s and 30s. First of all, you couldn't pay me to go back. Second of all, I want to explain why I'm so pumped to be here today. My name is Lisa Arundel. I'm an energy transformation coach, an integrative women's health coach, and a certified personal trainer. And I love birthdays. I always have since I was a kid. So, what happens along the line that we go from being so excited about our birthday that we can't even sleep to absolutely dreading it, and for some, going into a complete depression? Interestingly enough, for me, I've never had a birthday like that. Not one yet. Not my 30th. That hits people pretty hard sometime. Not my 40th. And today, not my 50th. And I do believe some of it, especially from 40 to 50, I set intentions to where I wanted to be at 50. So a goal is, hey, this is my goal, is to be here by this date. But to set an intention is to really reverse engineer. This is where I want to be, and these are the things I'm going to do to put it in place. So I want to share with you kind of how I've been celebrating for the past month. I want to encourage and inspire you to look at your birthday a little bit differently. So hang with me here. And I want to share what my intentions were from 40 to 50 and what they are now for my next year and even my next decade, which I'm still working out the next decade where I want to be by 60. But I think I'm starting to nail down what I want to do for my next year. So intentions are so important and crucial. Okay, so first of all, how I celebrated. So I went really big this year. I have never been to Miami and I wanted to go dance in Miami. So my theme has been dancing into my 50s. I'm a dancer, right? Dancing into my 50s. So I went to Miami, met some friends there, and we did some dancing and had an amazing time. First time ever there, had a blast. This was last month. So I was celebrating in October. I wrote everything down because I've done so much. Let's see. Just this past Saturday, so the Saturday before my birthday, my girlfriend had asked me a few weeks ago, what do you want to do to celebrate the weekend before your birthday? Because, we'll get some local people together, some of our friends, and we'll go do something. Do you want to go to our local winery? About an hour from here, we have a great winery. I said, I don't. You know what I really want to do? I want to go jumping at the trampoline park. She's like, sweet, let's do it. Now, the three girls that went with me to the trampoline park are 42, 49, and 54. And so I'm going to come back to that story here in just a moment, but we jumped for a solid hour this past Saturday, had a blast. My husband took me for my 47th to the trampoline park. I've been jumping with my kids for years, used to have my own little trampoline downstairs. Of course, we had one in the backyard, loved jumping, and that was such a fun way to do it. We went out to eat that night to a very amazing restaurant. These same girls, just a 3-hour dining experience. I did a 50th photo shoot. I've had people tell me I did one for my 40th, and I've had people say, look, at least for the milestones, go all out and do a photo shoot. And that's what I did. That was my gift to me, and it was amazing. Let's see. And today, my birthday, my husband's taking me to a steakhouse, and then we're going to go, we're actually going to stay at that steakhouse. It's a beautiful hotel, casino hotel, and we're going to stay the night there. So yes, it just keeps going. And before I get to the trampoline park story, let me tell you why you should also celebrate early and celebrate big. I spent a lot of years, and if this isn't you, you know somebody like the person I was, okay? I spent a lot of years kind of in a victim mentality. So, oh, so-and-so forgot my birthday, or, I wasn't celebrated the way I really wish I wanted to. I just kind of had this waiting for something that never really met my expectations, people forgetting or whatever. And then I would just pass the whole day off as, oh, it's just another day, even though inside I didn't feel that way. I didn't treat other people like that for their birthdays. I think they are to be celebrated. My gosh, this is the day that God ushered you into the world, right? So it's a day to be celebrated. And I have always loved to be celebrated, and I have many times off and on, but I just kind of got in this victim mentality. No excuses, it was me. And years ago, I don't know who to give credit to, but I heard somebody say, don't wait for others to celebrate you. You celebrate you. And boy, did it stick with me. And you know what? It transformed the last, I don't know how many birthdays since then, where I have just really stepped in and started celebrating the life that God gave me. And I don't even know or remember who remembers or who doesn't. It doesn't matter. I'm too busy celebrating myself. So it's interesting because I'm a Southern girl. I was born up north, but I've been here since I was 4. And I think there's this tendency to be, you know, we think it's humble to just let it slide by. We don't want to draw too much attention to ourselves. It's no big deal. I'm no more important than anybody else. No, we're all important and we all are deserving to be celebrated. So I'm not going to wait for anybody. I'm going to celebrate me. Now, I have been celebrated very much, but I wasn't waiting for it. And that makes all the difference in the world. So I want to encourage you, whether your next birthday is just a regular birthday or a milestone, start celebrating yourself. Start celebrating early. Start putting in place the things that you love to do. Okay. All right. Let me go back to my trampoline story for a moment. So, my precious friends, my 54-year-old friend has not been to the trampoline park in decades. And my other 2 friends hadn't been in at least 5 years. Everybody was a little nervous, a little anxious walking in. All of these friends, by the way, have also had natural births. So, ladies, you probably know what that means when it comes to jumping on a trampoline. I have had 3 C-sections, so that's not something that I deal with, but I was cognizant that was something they were a little concerned about. But they did not let that hold them back. And here's the incredible lesson. Not one time did any of those 3 friends of mine say, girl, I can't do that. I'm going to pee all over myself. They were all like, yeah, when are we meeting? Which one? The one in Bossier or the one in Shreveport? Like they were just on it. And I love that. And I really surround myself with people that are just, they're doers, they're go-getters. And I love that. And it doesn't mean if they didn't do that, they wouldn't be my friends. I just love that they were just like, I'm in and I'm going to figure it out. Okay. That was really special. So we get to the trampoline park. And like I said, there was a little bit, a little bit nerves. My friend Kathy was like, oh my gosh, I just don't know what to expect. And, it's just kind of that unknown. So they all went to the bathroom beforehand. A couple of them went during. We jumped for a solid hour. When I tell you we jumped for an hour, we jumped for an hour. At one point, we walked over to the foam pit and watched my friend Kathy jump in and filmed her and cheered her on getting out. If you've been in the foam pit as a grown-up, it's quite humbling. But then we walked right back and we started jumping again. It was incredible. But none of them had an accident. And they all had this amazing time because they just determined, you know what, I'm not going to let that hold me back. I'm going to go and have so much fun. And I think 1 or 2 of them joked about, hey, if I have to wear, a diaper or what, right? And nobody had to do that, but they would have. That's the point. It wasn't, I can't, it's, I'm going to figure out how to do it. Not only did they have so much fun, but we decided we're going to do this every single month. Active community, I'm telling you, it's important to have people who want to age and have fun while they're aging. They want to age actively and have fun while they're aging. Okay, next, let me tell you a little bit about my intentions going from 40 to 50. So why was it so cool for me to be at 40 and not be able to wait until I got to 50 years old? It's because I had these big dreams and intentions set that I was determined to meet. Now, did I meet every single thing? No. But I want to tell you about some of the intentions I did set and I did meet. So very first one was just to be healthier. So I deal with some autoimmune conditions, some congenital heart defects. And so I've been fighting for my health for a long time. It's easy for people to look from the outside and be like, oh, you've always been healthy. No, I've worked my tail off to have the energy I do and to be as healthy as I am. So at 40, I was healthy-ish and looked okay from the outside, but my joints were still a wreck from my Hashimoto's. There was just certain things about my body inside and outside I really wanted to work on to get stronger, to feel better by the time I was 50. So that was an intention I set, and I've worked so hard this past decade. And I can tell you right now at 50 years old, I am so much healthier than I was at 40. Thank you, Lord. It has not come out of happenstance. It has come from a lot of hard work. Number 2 was to deepen my relationship with the Lord. So I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, and I have got a long way to go, but my relationship is definitely deeper. My faith is deeper. He's grown me a lot in this past decade, and I'm so, so thankful for my relationship with him. Number 3 is increased mobility. So again, I mentioned that my joints were a little not so great back then. And if you would have seen me at 40 and you would have seen me getting up out of a chair and walking across the room, I kind of looked like if I had been sitting more than a few minutes, kind of looked like an old lady. Like it took me a minute to kind of get up and get going. And then by the time I was across the room, I was fine. but it's like everything would just draw up. And part of that is just the autoimmunity. And so I knew I needed to start really working on mobility conditioning. And what does that even mean? So you can do that from yoga, from Pilates. There's mobility apps. There's a mobility app that I love and I use, but it's, getting in a position and holding it and letting your body relax into that position. So it's not muscle training as much as it is just that connective tissue, really making sure that you are stretching it, but stretching it in a relaxed way. So anyway, that was a big focus of mine. And I'm definitely more mobile today, 10 years later, than I was when I was 40. And there were other intentions, but I'm going to stop there. But those were some big deals. And so now I'm looking at 60 and I'm like, okay, what are my intentions going to be for 60? Definitely it's going to encompass those, but I'm going to have more as well. And then setting intentions year to year is so important. So let me tell you what I'm doing for this year. I'm just going to share a few. First of all, strengthen some injuries that I have. So I have this shoulder thing. I've got some tennis elbow. I play tennis, but I had it before I played tennis. I've got an Achilles thing going on sometimes. So really just to strengthen and continue to work on making those injuries not quite so painful and getting stronger overall in my body as well over this next year. So this is my yearly intention. Number two, doesn't sound super fun, but it's important, especially in perimenopause, continued working on my my hormonal health. So, hormones with women, we're up and down, I'm still perimenopause. And so, but things are, starting to change a little bit. And so I'm working with a functional practitioner to make sure that I've got everything in place and feeling the best I can using some bioidentical hormone therapy. So I'm continuing to work very diligently on that this next year. And then two more, actually, I may share three more. Another one is just that, 40s have been a busy decade, with kids, getting them everywhere they need to go. And then my two oldest are now out of the house, but I still have one left at home, but it's just the one. And, parents are getting older. 40s is a really busy decade. And I found myself too many times not traveling to see friends and not making it a point to put space in my life. This is something I'm not proud of, but I've learned from it, right? And so this next year this is an intention for this next year, and certainly this next decade, is to make space, put things to the side and go spend time. I've got three family members on my husband's side. His three sisters were all in Texas. One just moved back from Wuhan, China, after being there for a decade. And so because they're here and because they're only in Texas, which is just right next door to me, there's no reason I shouldn't be there more. So that's an intention. Okay, two more: skate dancing. I love roller skating. Love roller skating. I've been roller skating since I was little. It was one of my first jobs out of high school. So I want to be skate dancing though. Skate dancing is just a whole other realm. And I just haven't taken the time to just stop and learn. And that's an intention for this next year, which I'm real excited about. And lastly, my youngest is a junior and I just want to make more memories with her. So whether that's through trips, whether that's through playing more games, I just want to make memories with her. So those are my intentions for this next year. So I want to encourage you, how can you be excited about your next birthday or your next milestone? Start setting intentions right now. Write them down and then figure out what it's going to take to actually accomplish them, to be there, and then see yourself, like visualize you being there, having accomplished these intentions. And how does it feel? How do you feel? Are you proud of yourself? Are you celebrating? How are you celebrating? What are you doing? I've been thinking about how I was gonna celebrate my 50th since my 40th, right? And I've gone out big. Like, I've had people going for probably a few months now, like, are you 50 yet? Like, you've been celebrating a really long time. Like, I know, right? I'm worth celebrating. And so I'm going to celebrate me because God chose to put me in this world, and that's worth celebrating. So I love it. I love it. And I want to see you celebrate you. Don't wait on anybody else to do it. Set some intentions, set them for this next year, write them down, speak them out, figure out how you're going to get there, because you will not meet those intentions on a wish and a dream. You have to put feet to action, and you have to figure out how on earth you're going to make that happen, and then do it. And it's going to be, your next birthday can be like your best ever, like better than your 6th or 11th or 12th or 16th. It can be the best ever because it's up to you. You get to make it that. So I hope that encourages you and inspires you a little bit. I've got a little bit more work to do, and then I'm off to celebrate the rest of this amazing day. Thank you for being here and celebrating with me on my 50th, and I will see you next time.